It may be 2022 and a lot of the things we do on our computers are wireless, but not everything is, and a lot of things still need to be plugged into our devices, and especially if you're in a work from home situation, you may be swapping those plugs between your personal computer and your work computer on a regular basis. Now, the ideal solution is to plug all of those into a Thunderbolt hub and then plug one Thunderbolt cable into your Mac, but those hubs are very expensive and I didn't want to spend that much money, so I wanted to look at a sub $100 option, and that's where the HyperDrive Duo came in. It's a $100 normal price, and you can often get it on sale for 80 bucks. It's a USB-C hub that you can just plug into your Mac, 2016 or newer, and it works pretty well, but let's get into the details. So here's my setup. I've got a 4K monitor connected via HDMI, a Shure microphone over USB-C, a power cable also over USB-C, a Stream Deck, and a keyboard. Yes, a wired keyboard. It's a little old school. I've been working from home for the past couple years, and this setup not only lets me connect everything to my MacBook Pro I use for making these YouTube videos, it also lets me quickly swap in my work computer, a 13-inch MacBook Pro, in no time at all. I could technically plug in all this to my personal MacBook Pro without a hub, but the 13-inch model only has 2 ports, so this makes that computer way more capable. Now let's take a look at the product and try to answer some questions you might have about how all this works. First up is the HDMI port, and this is the one that burns people a ton with hubs like this. I can't find the exact HDMI version, but I can say that I'm connected to a 4K monitor and it does 4K output at 60 Hz. Sometimes you'll be limited to 30 Hz on hubs like this, but I'm happy to say this one absolutely does do 60. Then there are these 2 USB-C ports, and they're a little tricky. One port is better than the other, supporting 40 gigabits per second throughput and 100 watts of power delivery. It can also be connected to a monitor to output up to 5K at 60 Hz. The other port looks exactly the same, but is less capable, delivering only 5 gigabits per second throughput and 60 watts of power. Then we've got 2 SD card readers, one full-size and one micro, and they're the same in every way besides size. They're both UHS-1 readers, which means they can transfer data at about 100 megabytes per second. For some context, the SD card reader built into the latest MacBook Pros is UHS-2, which is a little over twice as fast. Basically, if your computer has an SD card reader already built in, just use that. But if you don't have one, then this is going to be super convenient for you. Finally, we have 2 USB-A ports that are USB 3.0, but they're really slow by today's standards. They are useful for plugging in accessories like mice, keyboards, and microphones, but data transfers are going to be slow, and they don't support power delivery at all, which means you can use accessories with them, but you're not going to want to charge your iPhone with this. A couple other details you may want to know. First, this is really designed to be used with MacBooks from 2016 through today. The 2 USB-C plugs on the back of the device are spaced perfectly to fit in those computers, so if you've bought a Mac laptop in the past 6 years, it will almost certainly fit perfectly in your device. If you do want to use this with something else, it does come with this extension cable you can use to plug it into anything else like an iPad or Windows computer. I wouldn't really recommend this one if you're going to do this all the time, but it's nice in a pinch. Just remember to use the better USB-C connection, because remember, they're not both the same. I created this diagram to try to help explain it, but basically if you're using this USB-C port, you're getting effectively no benefit from the hub. You want to use this one instead. And finally, it comes with this little plastic adapter to make it look a little cleaner as it sits on your computer, and it does, even if all these cables are an eyesore all on their own. If you have a case on your Mac, then you can take this off and it should make room for the case. So overall, I'm relatively positive about the product. It's definitely not perfect, but you could do a lot worse, and especially in the sub $100 price range, there's a lot of junk out there, and this one, while not perfect, is pretty decent. Personally, I'll be looking for a Thunderbolt dock in the future that'll just cost me a lot more money, but for the time being, this has helped me get more things plugged into my computer at the same time, and critically, swap between my personal and work computers super simply, super quickly, and that's been a real value to me. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you here next time. Bye-bye.